Ferrari's first SUV, the Purosangue, is an incredible V12 fire-breathing demon that really is the king of all SUVs in terms of performance, luxury, and features. And it has a very cool shooting brake-like design, and it is unmistakably a Ferrari. But Toyota has for themselves their own Purosangue, the Crown Sports, and it will be coming out this year, at least for Japan. Media over in Japan got a chance to drive this new Toyota Crown Sports, and we're going to go over all the new images and details coming out of Japan. So the first thing we're going to do is go through all the images, and it is unbelievable how similar this looks to the Purosangue and the headlights and the taillights, and also from similar to the Porsche Macan in terms of the hips and the rounded features that it also has. Who would have thought that Toyota would have an SUV or a small crossover that looks as sporty as this and as desirable as this? We know that the new Prius came out and it was great, and then the Crown came out. And well, at least the Crown that we have stateside. I actually saw one this morning for the first time on the streets. It wasn't a purchase model because it still had the little square on the back left window that I remember seeing on all Lexus models that came in. And that little square will say like parts from this area. It was assembled in this area. And so I think it was a local dealer driving it around because I live close to the Toyota dealer. Anyways, check out this matte color on this Porsche Crown Sports. Now, this is the plug-in hybrid. If it comes to the United States, it'll say Crown across the back. And notice, I think this actually has the Toyota logo tiny inside there instead of the Crown logo, but I could be wrong. But notice it says PHEV. It would say Prime here if we were getting the plug-in hybrid, because for some reason Toyota has marketed their plug-in hybrids as Prime here in the United States, like the RAV4 Prime, Prius Prime. All right, look how much of a dog the Crown crossover or Crown sedan, whatever you want to call it, depending on the market you're in, the Crown that we have, look how bad it looks compared to this amazing matte Crown Sports. And we're just going to keep going because from every angle, it looks better than the model that we have. And that's purely subjective, but I'm sure most of you would agree. And look, it has a real hatch, unlike the Crown model that we had at launch, which is a sedan. So practicality is there in spades over the Crown that we have. And the Crown Sports, we don't know what the interior options are going to be. All we've seen is this interior, and this might be the first time we've actually seen the back seat of the Crown Sports that has the red seat belts, the black and red two-tone mixed throughout the dash and the doors. I think it looks pretty cool, and it is fitting for a more sporty vehicle. Here are the dimensions, comparing it to some other, like the GLC, for example. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like the RX is in here. Here's the Crown RS, which is the hybrid max that we have here in the United States, the 2.4 liter turbo. And then, man, just look at how beautiful it is with these blacked out 21-inch wheels, the red paint color as well. It looks great in matte. Here's another look at the interior. It looks just like the Crown that we have in the United States, except for that two-tone going on. It even looks good in white. I like the black and white two-tone. A little bit of glossy black around the wheel arches, a little bit of glossy black at the bottom, but there's no doubt the matte gray, gunmetal gray, looks just so sinister, and it doesn't look anything like any other Toyota, I guess, at first glance. But if you look at the front here, that hammerhead design can be seen in, let's say, the new Prius, for example. And the back end even looks a little bit like the Purosangue as well, and you could say it pure sangue. Last couple images here, we have the beautiful Crown logo. Hopefully we get the Crown logo. I know they won't do it here for America because they didn't do it on the Crown that we have. It just looks great. I can't say that enough, and I'm wondering, at this point in time, I need to get into the details. I think I finished up all the images. All right, so if you didn't know, we're at Best Car Web. They've been a huge source of information on this channel forever. It is the best source of Japanese car information coming out of Japan, and all this is brought to you by Google Translate. Thank God for Google Translate, so we can learn about what's coming out of Japan. So the Crown Sport, we knew this already. Toyota just mentioned it, but the hybrid version is going to be available in the fall of this year, and the plug-in hybrid, aka the Prime, in the winter of this year. The Crown Sedan, which looks like the Lexus GS that never was, is coming as a fuel cell as well as a hybrid coming this fall. And the Crown Wagon, aka Estate, is coming as a hybrid and plug-in hybrid in 2024. Hopefully we get the Crown Sport and the Crown Estate. And I'm going to keep pumping this up because these are the vehicles I want here in the United States, even if it cannibalizes the Harrier/Venza, even if it cannibalizes the Lexus NX. Because this vehicle, the design of it to me is more desirable than the NX and the RX. And hopefully it comes in a better price point. They say, speaking of price point, they said it comes in 4 to 6 million Japanese yen, which I translated it's about $30,000 to $45,000. So Toyota wanted feedback on the new Crown and how it drove. So for some customers under the Toyota Passport customer service, it sounds like a membership sort of service, Express member that started with the Crown crossover. They invited those people as well as some media members at the short course of Fuji Speedway. And here's what Toyota had to say. They want to actively incorporate the opinions of customers and the media to improve the car even a little bit until the official launch this fall. They're saying in terms of dimensions, it is wider than the current Crown, and the wheelbase is shorter as well as it's not quite as long of a vehicle. And when driving it, they said it gave them a muscular impression. The journalist here even said it looks like a Ferrari SUV Pure Sangue in person. And it looks like 25 groups of 50 people were invited in total to Fuji Speedway to drive these new Crowns on the racetrack. Now, this journalist was only able to drive the plug-in hybrid specification for a short distance. It had better handling than the Crown crossover, no surprise. They're saying all Crown Sports are four-wheel drive, just like the Crown here is in the United States as well, the Crown sedan. It'll have the exact same plug-in hybrid system what we see in the Harrier. And I'm actually a little bit disappointed about that. I want to show you why. This is the same prime or plug-in hybrid setup seen in the Lexus NX and RX 450h Plus, as well as the RAV4 Prime, as well as the Harrier plug-in hybrid over there in Japan. And here's why I'm disappointed. I like the engine. I like how simple the naturally aspirated engine is. I like the amount of electrification to the front. I'm disappointed with the electrification in the back. And the reason is that Toyota and Lexus have a much more meaty electric motor that they could easily swap out for this weak sauce 54 horsepower electric motor in the back. Why not put the 102 horsepower motor from the RX 500h as well as the Crown Platinum and Hybrid Max setup and sub this out? And that would give us an additional 50 horsepower or so to 350 plus horsepower. And that would essentially match the 500h setup without the complexity of the turbo. And you would have a lot more electrification only power. So if you're running on EV only mode, you would have about 240 horsepower based off my estimations if you put the 102 horsepower 80 kilowatt motor in place of this 54 horsepower weak sauce motor that they've been using for all-wheel drive. It's great for basic all-wheel drive and a hybrid. If you want performance though, it's unfortunate that Lexus hasn't incorporated this in their plug-in hybrids, this more powerful e-axle. And it's also a missed opportunity in this Crown Sports to not have it either. It's essentially the same run-of-the-mill powertrain of any other plug-in hybrid, which is great for overall daily driving as well as general performance. But if you want something, if you're taking people to Fuji Speedway, put this more powerful e-motor in the back of this. Now, we don't have, I don't think, specifications at this point of this Crown Sports. 99% sure that the plug-in hybrid powertrain will be identical to all the other Prime / 450h Plus powertrains already available in the market. They're expecting this thing to sell like hotcakes, which it would here in America as well. Like, this is available as a model above the RAV4 and somewhere around the Lexus NX. Here's the thing, the Crown lineup just doesn't make a lot of sense for the United States market. Over in Japan, it makes sense because Lexus is seen as kind of a failure brand. And if you're a Japanese citizen, the vast majority of them, if they want luxury, they skip Lexus and they go for the Germans. But I could also see this replacing the Harrier / Venza here in America as well. So if you want the Crown to come to America in this sport model as well as the estate model, make sure to smash the like button, comment down below. We need to let Toyota know that these are models we absolutely desire here in North America. And just because the Crown that we have, the sedan, is not going to have any traction due to the radical design of it and the limited functionality with the trunk, doesn't mean we don't want other Crown models. If you can't tell, I'm a little fired up about this. I really want these beautiful crossovers here in America, even if it takes a bite out of the Lexus lineup. May that be a message for Lexus. They can't rest on their laurels and just adapt Toyota powertrains left and right and just cost also more. And today I'm finishing up my review of the Mazda CX-90 with an amazing powertrain that trumps most of the Lexus powertrains that go to head with it. And that's a mass market vehicle, not a luxury vehicle. So hopefully this is a lesson to Lexus that you need to step up your game because your Toyota Crown models are going to be leaving you in the dust. All right, gonna end it there. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the comments below. Have a great day and peace.